The U.S.-China trade relationship, the largest of its kind in the world. At the national level, you often hear about reports on the tensions and the barriers, but down to the state and local level, bilateral engagement actually is getting stronger. We spoke to Alaska's Governor Bill Walker earlier and asked him why.
This past April, when Chinese President Xi Jinping left Florida after a meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump, he made an unexpected stop in Alaska. Bill Walker, the governor of the state of Alaska, was with the Chinese president during his 6-hour layover.
President Xi was here along with 14 ministers. Your staff said it was an unprecedented meeting. What was he like?
It was unprecedented. You know, I've born and raised in Alaska, lived here all my life. To have President Xi here with the 14 ministers, Madam Peng, it was an event that I will certainly never forget. I was very honored to be to host that, to welcome him to our state, and to spend the time with him that I did. A couple of highlights. One is we went out to Beluga Point, an area out towards our ski area at Alyeska, and so we had a chance to see some of our coastline and some of the mountains. I think that certainly the food we had, I think the salmon dinner was very good, but also I think there was a discussion we had about the opportunities between China and Alaska, and on many different fronts was really the highlight for me.
China has been Alaska's largest trading partner for years. In 2016, a quarter of the state's exports, nearly $1.2 billion, went to China. After Governor Walker's meeting with President Xi, the two sides decided on a new area of cooperation, liquefied natural gas. Keith Meyer is president of Alaska's largest natural gas development company. He also met with Chinese President.
President Xi said to me, he said, China has 100 years of LNG demand. And I said to him, Alaska has 100 years of LNG supply. And I said, together, I think it's a beautiful marriage.
What would be the advantages of your gas line company versus other gas line providers all over the world to the Chinese market?
Very significant advantages. So one of which is our proximity. So we're 7 to 9 days shipping to Asia, so it's very close and it's direct. There's no canal, no third nation to go through. So the ships can go direct from Alaska right to China. The resource base is conventional and it's proven. So it's already been produced, it's already been drilled, it just needs a pipeline to link it together. We have decades of proven gas supply, we have generations of potential gas supply.
In June, President Donald Trump announced the U.S. would withdraw from the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. As governor of a state that voted for Trump last year, Bill Walker made it clear he does not necessarily agree with the president on that issue.
Climate change, an issue that Alaska has a big stake in. We were driving down in Seward the other day, and we saw the icebergs melting right in front of our eyes. Quite amazing.
It is. You know, when we look at the volume of gas that we would have and LNG would have available to ship from Alaska, that's equivalent to 80 million tons per year of CO2 emissions that will not be, it would reduce it by that much. A very significant step in that direction. We have to, in Alaska, we're impacted as well. We have a number of villages that need to be relocated because of climate change as a result of the ice is no longer there as a protection of their shore. So we have areas like Kivalina, which is on an island that is getting smaller because the winter storms are impacting it more and more as a result of not having the ice pack around it.
Last year, China sent more overseas-bound tourists than any other country, but only 3% of Alaska's tourists were Chinese. The Alaska governor is talking with several airlines to bring in direct flights from China. He also said he cannot wait to see more Chinese tourists coming to the state to enjoy the beauty of the northern lights, icebergs, and the all-wild Alaska salmon.